What's going on, guys? Renegade here. I got a bit of a confession to make. It's about the XS. I've done a bit of work off camera. A fair amount of work. The reason for this is actually pretty simple. The days I can work outside and do work on the bike are pretty limited. The days I can film are even more limited. So unfortunately, there's a lot of stuff that I did that you guys won't see. Don't worry, nothing too major. Let me show you. There she is so far. Alright, it doesn't look like a whole lot, but it's a good amount. Last time we talked, I was busy putting the adjustable lever sets on the bike, which I'm still looking forward to using because these are going to be great. I was also debating on the wiring before where that was going to go. I did indeed put it into the headlight. Got some cuts here, some cuts down in here, and one's up top for my my cluster gauge. It's going to go here. As I believe I've said before, I'm trying to use all the same electrical hookups so that the harness stays pretty much intact. One of the other things I did is I set up another mount for this, so the tail is now sturdy and in place. I also put in a new lock. This is all going to be trimmed down and flush. Do that later. Put in a latch for the seat so the seat doesn't come off. I still have all this wiring mess to deal with. I still have to mount my TCI board, get the wires set up for that. These wires for the turn signals hooked up. Yeah, it's still a good amount of work. So you guys didn't miss a whole lot. Part of it was also planning and ordering parts. Like, I don't know about you all, but I am sick and tired of seeing this rim looking like that. I mean, Jesus. As I mentioned before, a lot of this stuff is on just for space and kind of place holding. Well, the new rim is on the way. Also got a bunch of other cool stuff already here. I got my new exhaust for the bike, which will get fitted obviously when the motor is fitted, because no idea what that is. You know, no idea where my marks are going to be quite yet. I also hooked up a remote ignition, which I need to finish wiring obviously, but we're going to put it right here. Kind of a nice little nod to a lot of classic bikes, or a lot of custom bikes you see that have the off the frame mounted ignitions. I also have dry fitted my bar ends, my throttle tubes, and grips. We'll get more into that later on when we finish setting up all of this stuff. Yeah, overall, been a bit of work, but you know, needed to be done, and just kind of trying to keep moving and grooving on it. So, what am I gonna do today? That's the question. Today, I want to try and get the tail section completely done so I can Bondo it, because obviously it's a custom made piece. I need body work to kind of fill in some of the goofs and mishaps that happen on here and make it all nice and ready for paint. So that's what we're going to aim to do today. Alright, now to make sure that I'm cutting this panel, which of course I left larger than I needed to, because test fitting and custom parts, it's better to have more than have less. To make sure I cut this to the same size as the other side, I made this template, which I use just by tracing the other side, out of newspaper. It's free, we get tons of it. I mean, why not use it? And traced it onto the panel. I hope you all can see the line right here. And now I'm just going to trim this piece up, and then we'll fix a couple of other things. cut matches the other one on the other side. One of the problems I've been having is getting parts for this bike. Particular parts, actually. One of which being this panel. Now, I was lucky I found this panel, but on the other side is this smaller panel shaped like the silver piece, which I can't find. Looked all over the internet. If you're watching this and you have a line on one, please, please, please drop a note to me, let me know, and we can try and work something out, because I am searching for these things, and for whatever reason they seem to be very hard to find, even when it comes to the people who have actually taken their bikes and done the full cafe racer thing, where this is all hollow. They've relocated the battery to the tail and none of this stuff is here. Can't find them. Nope. Not for the 82, 83 models anyways. But that's what I'm looking for. So what I'm going to have to do, at least until I can find someone who has one, I'm going to have to make my own. There's no way around it. This is the pain in the ass part. Luckily, I've done this before. I'm going to take this off and trace it so we can get a template. Alright. So why am I doing this panel now? If I said I'm working on the back piece, why am I doing this panel? Like with this side, I needed this panel to give me this line. Well, I want to make sure that on the other side, my line is still going to match up. And I wish I just had the right panel for it and just bing bing. Nah, so I got to make one. Because I don't want to have to do any cutting or welding after I've bondoed. So I did this. Using this to trace it. The dash lines are folds, where it's going to need to fold back. And of course left some extra because it's got to fold over in certain places. It's a little breezy. But now I can trace this on the metal and cut out the metal shape. The trick ends up being this piece has a curve to it. Not a couple curves. When I got to do the other one, I have to remember to mirror image it. Otherwise I end up with the same panel twice. No bueno. Ta-da! Doesn't it look wonderful? Yeah. One of the cool things is I actually did this before, ages and ages ago, when I actually had the bike on the road the first time. And I made one that looked good, but I've learned a lot since then. So now I actually get to put that knowledge into use. So, relief cuts and planning ahead for your folds. It's a very good and very useful thing. Last time it was a mess trying to do it. So this time, hey, I thought ahead. Now I gotta get working on bending this and everything, which is oh so much fun. Get out the hammers and the pliers and the oi. There you have it. Some bending, and I welded on some bolts to act like the pegs that would go into those holes. So if everything worked like it should, try and do it one-handed here. That one in. Obviously I'm missing a grommet, but that one should snap in. And there you go. Obviously I got some things I got to take care of, you know, whatever. But there you go. Rather than finding one, made one. And now I won't feel bad if I decide to cut any holes in this for any buttons or switches or anything. No guarantees, but you never know with me. Alright, let me get this tailpiece back on, which obviously I took off to make sure I had all this mounted up correctly. And then we will get the final lines for the back and bottom of the front, I guess, of my tailpiece. There you go. You see there's a bit of an overlap, which means I'm going to have to trim this down a bit. This piece, obviously. I have to trim it to match the line here. And do that, and this should be pretty much done. There we go. Not too shabby. Not too bad if I do say so myself. Got a couple little things to address, you know, nothing major. I gotta trim this up a smidge, do a nicer, cleaner line, and yeah, For all intents and purposes, the tailpiece is done. Which means I can Bondo it and get it done. I'm sick of looking at it, looking at it like this. So, it's the next step. Sanding and Bondo. Let's get to it. So obviously I didn't go hog wild on it and sand it to bare metal, but I just needed enough to get something for the Bondo to stick to. Now, mix up some Bondo and hit the whole thing. Alright, so obviously it's been more than a couple days now since I last shot for this video. Weather and time have not been on my side in the least bit. Now, as seems to be the progress of making this video, I ran into a couple of little problems. I was trying to do a time lapse of me putting the Bondo onto the fairing and my battery died. I'm really bad at maintaining batteries. So I did all that work and none of it was captured. But you can see the after. Go. Yeah, that's a lot of Bondo. I know. Don't worry, it's all going to get sanded down. Which is the next step. Now I know my battery's good, so we're fine. Now, if you don't know what Bondo is, it's body filler. It's a two-part product. You got your paste and you got your hardener. You mix it together and you put it on, which is what I did here. And then you just have to sand it down. Now, I went a bit over and above, obviously, but I got a bunch of little things I want to get filled up, so I don't feel bad going above and beyond. I'm gonna sand it down, make it all nice. Before I get too far, we're gonna address the elephant in the room, as it were. Don't do this at home. Disclaimer. Don't do this at home without a respirator, or at least some sort of mask. I know someone's gonna say it. Yeah, I know. Don't worry, I'm making sure I'm downwind, so I'll be fine. So I'm starting off with an 80 grit, move to, what do I got? 120 grit and a 220, just because I want to get it sanded down and smooth. Primer, I'll give it a better sanding later. So let's get it and start getting it down to shape, eh? So after a bunch of sanding, it's not perfect yet obviously, but got ourselves shaped out. See what it looks like on the bike. Yeah, I'll say that'll look real nice when it's all painted up and done. Nice little tail cone. Obviously it's just kind of sitting there right now, but nice little tail cone. Should look real nice with the body lines. Hell yeah. Yeah, I hate working outside having to stow the bike for this, but it is what it is. So that's going to do it for this episode. Is just a little shaping and finishing up of the tail. Obviously, more work will be done on that come closer to actual painting. But I hope you all have enjoyed this. If you have, do me a favor, give me a thumbs up. And if you're not already, please do subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you get notified. If I can talk. Please hit the notification bell so you get notified when I upload a new video. And if you like the build and you want to pitch in and try and help out a little bit, feel free to donate. The link down below. ko-fi.com. Shoot me a coffee. I love coffee. And any little bit helps, right? So, thank you all for watching, guys. Hope you all enjoyed. Y'all keep rocking and rolling. I'm going to keep taking care of business and maybe get some of this off of me. See you next one.